Guys, good morning. Today we're gonna talk about how to change the oil in your car. Sometimes I like to do it by myself. It's just fun for me. I like car maintenance stuff, so changing the spark plugs, oils, filters, basic things. So yeah, today I'm gonna talk about oil change. And yeah, let's get into this because it's kind of simple, but it's also kind of complicated. I'm using GoPro and I'm using a Pixel front camera. I'm just interested how it's gonna look like in this kind of scenario, in these conditions. I made a list, so I'm gonna use this list, so I'm not gonna forget about anything. But yeah, let's get into this. So my car is actually Alfa Romeo, so everything is aluminum down there. It's a lot of like in this more expensive cars, it's made by aluminum, so this is actually problematic because when you are screwing in and screwing out some screws, you have to do it wisely. And yeah, what do you need? You need the wrenches, you need a screwdriver or driller. I'm using driller because, well, it's just much faster. I have 22, I think, screws just for my cover under the car. So it's like, really, if I would do this by hand, I would just literally get madness. And this will not take like 20 minutes. Like everything to change the oil would take like a 1 hour, and I would just literally taking this cover from the button off. I will be totally exhausted. So it's better to just equip yourself with the stuff. Oil drain pan. Buy something that is not, I will show you because I bought two. I ordered one from Amazon and one I bought here somewhere locally. Don't buy this garbage. This is literally, I thought this gonna be much deeper. It's literally unusable. When oil just starts spilling on it, it's gonna be all over the place. So buy something like this. Hold out for oil, but this one is what you need. Look how deep this one is, and look at this one. Horrible. Don't buy it. I will give you all links below, so it's gonna be much easier for you. But yeah, buy something that is not flat, because if you start, this oil will start spilling. It will just splash it, and you don't want to have this oil on your head, on your face, and everywhere around you. So buy something that is much deeper. Yeah, this is important. A lift jack. Well, you need something that is longer. Don't buy the short ones, they are pointless. Buy something that is longer one. You need to have this longer one because if you have SUV or truck, it's just impossible to lift this car up. Even for like a regular sedans and like hatchback cars, it's preferable to have like this longer lift jack. So just equip yourself with this. Oil filter wrench. This is very important. Buy oil filter wrench because even if this should be just a little bit tightened, very often people just tighten it so strong that you're gonna have some problems. Yeah, equip yourself with the oil wrench, because it is really essential. Lift the car up, find this location of where you should put this lifter. Just don't do it somewhere, mostly cars have some kind of spots for that, so just use those spots because you can crush the frame of the car. Do it in the proper way. When you lift the car up, you place some support under the wheels. I have like a two support. I made it by myself. I just bought a wood, cut it, and I make like a two squared things. Literally very easy to do. So make sure that if you lift the car, you rest this car on some kind of supports, because you don't want to die under the car, changing the oil. It shouldn't be your first and the last oil change. So be equipped and be secure. So after you unscrew everything under the car, the screw from the oil pan from the car, clean everything around it. You don't want to have any form of dirt. Very important thing is here to don't allow any form of mud, dust, and anything get into this, because it's gonna literally damage your car. Everything, unscrew this screw from the oil pan. Just be advised that this will start spilling down. For this kind of like a, I don't know, 20 centimeters, so I don't know how many inches this is, like 10 inches distance. So when you screw this, keep the screw tight, because it's not gonna like start draining for how long you have it in your hand, then you pull this screw out, and this is like, ooh, doing like a big spill. Then go above and unscrew the top cap from the engine. Don't do it before, because if you don't do this before, the spill will be much bigger. So first unscrew this from the bottom, so this can like, or you can drop to the vessel, then just unscrew it a little bit and leave it at the top, so you know it's gonna prevent from getting dust and any form of like whatever in. So keep the engine clean. Next one, we are taking this oil filter out. So use this oil wrench. As I said, it's very problematic sometimes to take this oil filter out. Trust me, I did approach so many times to this, and literally it's the best option to have this oil wrench. So you know, use oil wrench. You're just gonna nicely you know, tighten. You're gonna have like a rounded metal. Maybe you're gonna have with rubber. That's gonna be maybe the better option, but mostly are metal, like a circus. You just, you know, nicely grab it and unscrew it. So use the oil wrench. Wait until everything is out. So let's this oil drop. Take a new filter. Before actually even doing everything, this is also important. Sometimes they're gonna give you, or they're gonna send you a wrong oil filter. That's important. Before you unscrew the oil screw and you start, you know, spilling the oil out, check the size of the oil filter. It's good to, you know, see the dimensions, because sometimes you're gonna have wrong oil filter. Yeah, it's happening quite often, so be sure that it's exactly the same. As I said, you can order on the website or buy somewhere, and it's gonna be literally the same. Well, they're gonna like match it the same, but you're gonna, you know, try to fit it in your car, and you realize that, hey, that is not the same one, and you have a oil out and no car. So be sure before you do this. But yeah, if you have the new filter, it's good to put a little bit of new oil on this rubber that is on the top of the filter. Screw this in. I'm using hands, and mostly I'm just tightening this very, very strongly by my hand. This is everything what you need. Just, you know, use hands very, very strongly. You have to tighten it, but I don't use this wrench. Wrench is only for unscrewing things, because if you're gonna use this metal wrench, you're gonna scratch it, and the cover that is on the filter is actually for protection. If you like scratch it off, this paint or whatever black thing, because sometimes it's like a rugged thing on it, the oil filter will start rusting. So this is not a good option. You don't want to have that. So use the hands. You tie it in nicely. This is really like a small steps, so small increments. So you're gonna feel the resistance. You're getting in. You're still feeling this resistance, and you're going when until it stops, and then you know, try to just, you know, tighten it up, and that's basically it. With the screw, you put the screw in from the oil pan. Also, if you have aluminum, I have an aluminum pan, so you know, I have to be cautious, but overall it doesn't necessarily need to have tons of the power. You don't have to use ton of the power to just screw this in, but clean this screw before you put it in. Clean this nicely, so it should be nice and clean. If you have somewhere rust around it, I recommend you even to buy a new screw. So yeah, I remember I have like a racing car a long time ago, and I have like a rusted screw around it. So yeah, I have to replace it. So yeah, and so screw this in. Also, do not tighten it too strongly. Get to the very end, and then it's just a little notch of like a tight it a little bit. But yeah, that's basically it. You put the screw, you put the oil filter. Now you can put the cover back or wait, but well, I put the cover by. I will tell you why you should maybe wait, but I hope it's not gonna happen. I put the cover right away, put the car down. I have a electronic measurements here, so I don't have this drip, so to check the oil, Alpha has to do it by itself. So yeah, I'm putting in the oil. How much oil? And this is very interesting thing, and this is a trick. Some long time ago was called for dummies, but now specialists and me myself, I'm calling this very usable thing. So it's good to have like a vessel with measurement, you know, this oil back, you know how much oil you had, so you not overdo it. And so yeah, but for example, I have a 5.5 quarts, I think, so I put like 5.2. I didn't check, I didn't have any measurements. I put 5.2. I checked the engine and I see that I have like a little bit above the half of the measurement. You always want to have to full, you know, like this minimum and maximum, you want to have it full always. So this is the best option. You can have a little bit down, but when you fill this up, mostly try to put this a little bit, you know, to fill this to the very top. So I was waiting, I checked everything, you know, not a car check, was checking everything. It showed me that I have like more than half of these measurements. I have it like horizontally, not vertically. Well, you have a dip, you measure this vertically, but when you have like in the car, you have this like horizontal measurement. So it's like minimum and top. So I have this somewhere over here, you know, so I have to fill this space over here. So I'm just use a little bit, put a little bit, I measure it again, put a little bit, and measure it again, and it was completely like how I wanted, so it was full. You don't want to overdo this. This is a super important thing, and I say in USA this is a regular issue. Oh my god, I saw so many times my uncle had, my two friends had it, and I hear about this, the people just don't know how even sometimes change the oil. You cannot have over this maximum level oil in your car. This is gonna create, I think they call it in, unclog the engine. They're just gonna have too much of pressure, the engine gonna start overheating, and you can lose you can blow your head gasket. So it's not recommended going above, really. So if you overdo it by a lot, then you have to spill this out, and trust me, it's very complicated, because if you start unscrewing this oil will literally, you know, get out very quickly, and you cannot like stop it, put the screw back, because it's gonna spill everywhere. So be cautious and really be cautious. You're gonna have this all the face on the floor, everything will be covered by oil. So don't do this, you know. If you have to spill this out, just keep this screw, you know, and if you start dripping, just try to hold it and control it, because it's gonna be everywhere. Trust me, I was changing oil in my racing car so many times that I learned a lot from don't do my mistakes. So put it in. If you know that is, for example, 5.5 quarts, put like a 5.2, then check it, then again, then check it, and you know, twice. For example, is for the best option for me, because I don't want to overdo this. And yeah, and that's basically, it's very simple. So maybe it's well, I like changing my style in my car, like as I said, sparkles, basic things, but it's sometimes it's complicated in a way that you really have to approach to this, because it's easy, but you really have to have some knowledge about this. So the same with the spark plugs, the other things. So it is just important to have some form of knowledge before you start doing this. So I will give you all links down below. Support me, guys, but really this is essential what I'm gonna give you over there, and it's actually very cheap. What kind of oils? Yeah, what kind of oil didn't tell you. Well, from the general perspective, I was checking a lot of oils, and I think Valvoline have the most, for the best price, have a most stable oils, and like different kind of brands like Shell, Mobile, whatever else, like Castro also. They, well, I'm not sure 100% with the Castro, but I hear about like fake those oils. That means that they are not the same kind of oil in Europe and USA, and they, a lot of companies like they're distributing and changing some stuff. So Valvoline like keeping the same standards everywhere in the world, in Europe and USA. I don't know about the rest in Europe and USA. So Valvoline definitely is a good level. Also a lot of good oils like Pulse, Liquid Moly, but me, I went with American actually oil. This is the, I think, one of the best, and this is IMS oil. Crazy thing is that this company is here from the USA, from Wisconsin, not far away. So maybe I'm gonna visit them someday, see how they make the oil. Oh, so cool. And how they test it, because they have a plenty of cars over there, you know, they test it out on the bikes and everything. Yeah, cool, I want to go there. So yeah, super simple, but also, you know, kind of complicated in a way. We never do this. Just be cautious about, you know, every step to make it possible. And I'm giving you everything below, every link to every like a tool and equipment you need to change it. That's it, guys. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe. Links down below if you want to support me. Well, will be highly appreciated for my hard work, and I will see you in the next video. Yep. See ya.